How's it going, YouTube? All right, so today we're gonna do like a three-part video of how to install a doorknob latch lock. And we're gonna use an old door here, but not only that, I wanna show you a couple really cool tools. The first review and tutorial that I'm gonna show you is the Milwaukee door lock installation kit. This is very simple to use. Once again, this is going to be the first part of a three-part, and let's get it started. So as the saying goes, there's a million different ways to skin a cat, and at least I think that's how it's said. That being said, the same thing applies to putting in a new doorknob or a new deadbolt and so on. Let me state this. There's probably going to be a couple professionals that come across this video and say, all you need is a router and a chisel and this and that, and that's all fine and dandy. That's great. You know, you have all of these tools in front of you that a lot of people could use. I mean, there's different ways to install these things, but I found three very simple, easy tools for the DIYer. Okay, a lot of people that come to this page are not professionals. So I am going to get rid of all of these tools, and I'm going to show you the easiest way I found to install, one, the doorknob or the lock, right, the latch, and then the hinges. So once again, this is going to be a three-part video. The first part is going to focus on the doorknob and the latch. So once again, we're going to focus now on the first video on the Milwaukee door lock installation kit. But I want you to see that I cleared the rest of the tools away, and these are what I'm left with. We're going to talk about this here first. Then we're going to talk about the latch install. Very simple tool, very cheap tool from Ryobi, $9. And another tool from Ryobi, which is also pretty cheap. This is going to help us with the hinges, right? So this is going to be a tutorial plus a review. So let's get started on actually install the door lock. So what are you actually going to get with this installation kit? They give you pretty much everything you need. You're going to get the actual jig itself. Then you're going to get a couple hole saws. This one here is going to be for the actual doorknob, and then this one here is going to be for the latch. Then you're going to get your pilot bit, and you're going to get four different drill bits, so that's really nice. So they really give you everything you need. So now I've actually used other brands. I have another one, I'm not going to mention the name, I like, but this one here is a little bit more sturdy. And it comes with an extra function that I really find handy when it comes to installing this. On the other one, there's a couple drill holes here that you would actually put a couple screws where the latch would go, and that would hold it in place. But then this piece right here up on the top, it would jiggle a little bit. This right here actually has a clamp. I like that. And then it also lets you adjust 2 3/8 and the 2 3/4. So these are the two standard sizes that you're going to find on the door. So all you're going to do is slide that over. And you slide it back. See? So what we're actually going to do here is use an old door that I have, right? I just took this off. I'm replacing a bunch of doors, so I got to use this a bunch of times. And we're actually going to create the holes for you. I'm going to show you how this works. Fairly simple. What's nice about this as well is, you know, door sizes come in different thicknesses. This allows you to adjust the thickness simply by turning this right here. So that being said, if I were to put that on there, you can see that if that was a thicker door, that'd be great, but it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this, I'm going to tighten it up. I'm going to tighten it up right there by using this, and it's pretty solid. And once again, I can slide this whichever way I want. You would probably want to do that first because it does get a little bit stiff. But it's on there nice and snug. So now what I'm able to do is actually drill my hole by using the hole saw here perfectly. So this hole right here is going to drill the hole for your door knob. This hole right here is actually going to allow you to drill the latch. So you're going to have two separate hole saws for each hole. You want to drill this one first, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to drill that. And I'm going to show you how that works. So before we can actually start drilling, we have to actually hook up the hole saw. We're going to use this and this, and I'm going to screw that down in right here, and once I do that, I'll be right back. But okay, so I got that in. I made it pretty tight. Make sure I got some pliers there and tighten that up. You want to make sure that that's really snug. And then this right here is going to go on the back, and it's going to screw in now. And I'm going to screw this in right here, and now you're ready to cut. Here's the thing, I've seen a couple reviews, I may have mentioned this before, but I've seen a couple reviews that people just didn't know how to take these off. When you go and actually use this to cut, this is going to tighten up really tight, so you might actually have to put this in a vise and maybe get like a pipe wrench or something in here, maybe a screwdriver. You got to be careful, you don't want to bend these things, but this will come off. So when you take this off, you can now put it here on the smaller one to drill out the latch hole right here. So they will actually come off for you. You just might have to use a little extra force. So, okay, now I have my 2 1/8, 54 millimeter, and that's nice and snug, and we're actually going to cut out our hole. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drill this hole. Now I have this hooked out to my drill, and yes, you will need a drill. Once again, 2 1/8 hole saw. And this is a hollow door, so what you could do is if you have like a solid wood door, you can actually start that hole on one side, and you can come on the other side of this and find where that pilot bit or that arbor bit or whatever you want to call it came through, and then actually go through the other side. But because it's a hollow door, I'm probably just going to go the whole way through. So I want to make sure that my pilot bit or arbor bit, like I said, whatever you want to call it, is in the middle. And that's going to keep it from jumping around. Now, that being said, if you already have a hole here and you're just trying to widen this, this will work, but it might jump around for you a little bit. These are really best to create new holes. So I'm going to put this right in the middle here. I'm going to make sure my arbor bit is steady. Okay, and on the count of 3, I am actually going to start this here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I already went through the first half. I'm just going to keep on going. And that is it. And you can see right here, it took that plug out. So you could just get a screwdriver or something and pop that right out of there. So right now, I'm going to take this off here. I'm going to loosen it up. And there you have your perfect hole. And that's where your door lock's going to go. So now I still need to put in my latch, right? And this is where this is going to come in. So I'm going to put this back on actually. I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to show you how the latch actually works now. All right, so I put that back on. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to remove this. And once again, this is really tight, and that's where a lot of people were having trouble with. So I'm going to actually have to put this in a vise because it doesn't want to turn, and use maybe a pipe wrench to get that undone. All right, so I got that off, and you can see the wood cores that I took out of that. And now all I'm going to do is put the smaller one on here, tighten that up the same way. And this will tighten itself. So once you get this snug, it'll tighten up once you start cutting. So now we got the door hole cut for the actual knob. Now we're going to cut the latch. So that's going to go in there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You want to go slow. You don't want to force this. These things are sharp. They'll cut through it. So you might want to come back out a little bit and let that spit out some of that wood. Okay, and you can see here now I just took out the plug. Be careful, that could be hot, okay? So you'll have to pop that out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this up, and I am going to show you the 2 new holes that we have for the latch and the doorknob. Simple as that. So there you go. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this up, and I am going to show you the 2 new holes that we have for the latch and the doorknob. Simple as that. Simple as that. So there you go. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this up, and I am going to show you the 2 new holes that we have for the latch and the doorknob. There you go. you can put your doorknob in there, and you're gonna have to cut this latch hole out a little bit. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. That's actually very simple. That's the second part of the video. We're gonna use the Ryobi latch installation kit, but that is the Milwaukee door lock installation kit. And we'll see you on the Ryobi latch install kit.